Remind me to never go into space. That is just way too scary of a thought for me. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my college dorm room. Now today I'm going to be talking about the film Interstellar. Interstellar is the most recent film by director Christopher Nolan. He is famous obviously for the Dark Knight trilogy and Inception, to name a few, and this is his latest project. This stars Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, among a couple other notable actors, and so let's get into it. Obviously, the main person who has been advertised as the star of this film is Matthew McConaughey. He plays an engineer who is one of the last remaining humans on planet Earth. This takes place in a time in possibly the not-so-distant future, where the Earth's resources are basically gone and they're living on very little to survive on. And he is a farmer who has basically a lot of corn stalks and 2 kids. As events happen in the film, he is recruited to take a mission up into space and find a new home for humanity to live on. And so that is the main plot of our film. Matthew McConaughey does a phenomenal job in this movie. I really enjoyed his performance. I thought it was really well done, really energetic, and really emotional when it needed to be. So props to you, sir. Anne Hathaway is the other notable figure in this film. She plays Amelia, and she is the kind of head scientist person behind this whole project, and she is basically the secondary to Matthew McConaughey's character. She is really good in this film as well. I thought that she just did a really nice job in the movie, probably just as good as Matthew McConaughey, in my opinion. Jessica Chastain is also in this film. She plays the adult version of Matthew McConaughey's daughter in the film, whose name is Murph, and she does a very nice job as well. Her character is very emotional and betrayed by the fact that her father has yet to return to Earth during the time that she thought that he would return to Earth by. So, she's a very interesting character in this film. And then Michael Caine from the Dark Knight trilogy, he is also in this film. He's kind of the head researcher scientist back on Earth, trying to solve the formula for gravity, because gravity has a big role in this film, and very sciencey reasons that I don't understand. But he does a really nice job. As always, it's Michael Caine. You kind of know what you're going to expect with his character, and he does a really nice job. The story in this film is very, very interesting because it is somewhat relatable, I assume, to this current situation that we are in, because that's fun. It kind of makes a statement about the fact that we are using all of Earth's resources, and that eventually, when they do run out, and they obviously will at some point run out, we are going to have to choose what we do, and one option is interstellar travel, where we find another planet to habitate, that word. And so it tackles this question really, really well, and I really enjoyed the story for the most part. I thought that it was really interesting, it was presented well, it was realistic to a point, and was just really, really nicely done. One of my gripes with the film, though, is that it starts off kind of slow as it's setting up this whole thing, and just pacing-wise, it is kind of a slow movie, because it has to fill 3 hours, roughly, and so it takes some time to get going. We spend about the first hour of the film on Earth, so there is that. Now, I'm not like a physics person in any sense of the word, so I don't know how accurate or realistic the things that they threw out in this film are, but I thought that it was very realistic in terms of time and space in regards to the aging of certain people. We didn't just have McConaughey not aging and then have people on Earth not aging as well. We see the difference in terms of time, like they're on one planet at one point, and every hour on that planet is 7 years on Earth. So it's just a very interesting concept, and it really heightens the tension that they have to deal with, because if one thing goes wrong, they lose 7 years of Earth's time, and that's just very, very bad. So it's just kind of interesting in that regard, and I found it interesting because of how potentially assumably accurate that is. The movie also looks fantastic. All the visuals are very, very nice, and I was blown away just by how this movie looked in terms of the space, like outer space look. I thought that was really cool. There's some really visually cool things. There's stuff at the end which I'm not going to talk about because it's spoilery, but those also look really cool. You'll know what I'm talking about when you get to that point if you see this movie. Just the planets look really nice, and just everything looks really, really, really cool and well done, and I really enjoyed this movie because of that. The music is also a big factor in this movie because it is used sparingly and yet to a great effect, because there are points when they're in space and it's just silent except for some dialogue, and the whole theater when I went to see it was just dead silent during that time because nobody wanted to make a noise because it would just ruin the whole effect of the whole film. And that's a spider. It just really helped to elevate the film to a new level, and it just helped to make the film really, really good and stand out, in my opinion. And lastly, the film is not very predictable at all. There's a lot of things that I did not see coming. I had my theories about a couple things, and some of it was correct, but the ending is very unpredictable and kind of connects back to the beginning of the film, which I really enjoyed. But the ending in and of itself does seem a little bit far-fetched in terms of how everything kind of wraps up, in my opinion, at least. It's kind of grasping at straws a little bit. So if you can think not about that stuff and how kind of silly the ending can be, you'll enjoy it. And I had to kind of force myself to not think about how somewhat unrealistic the ending was. But overall, in my opinion, this movie is really, really good. It's really well done. It's another blockbuster from Nolan, and he does a phenomenal job in the film. McConaughey and Hathaway, they both excel in this movie. There are some surprise appearances by some actors, which I'm not going to name because they surprised me. I didn't watch all the trailers for this movie, so maybe some of them were shown in that trailer that I didn't see, but there's a couple that you'll see when you see them that I was not expecting to see, and it was cool. So that's my thoughts on Interstellar. I definitely recommend going to see it this weekend. I've also heard Big Hero 6 is also good, so check that out as well. Review for that tomorrow. Yeah. So let me know what you guys thought of Interstellar down in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe once again if you so choose. I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, my people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on watching.